Thanks, Larry. As Larry said, I'm Kevin Muhs. I work for the Southeastern Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission. We are the official area-wide planning agency for land use and infrastructure for the 7 counties of southeastern Wisconsin, and within those counties, the 147 cities, villages, and towns. We basically exist to take a look at the problems and issues associated with urban development and infrastructure that extend beyond municipal and county boundaries. Why am I here today? I'm here today to talk to you about Vision 2050. Vision 2050 is southeastern Wisconsin's long-range land use and transportation plan. So mainly I'm up here to say we've had a lot of conversations about the ways that we might be behind our peer regions, what we might need to do to invest and change things. And I'm here to tell you we have a plan. And that plan is long range and covers many modes. When you leave today, you're going to receive a folder that's going to have a summary of the plan in it. If you aren't familiar, you can definitely take a look, and always feel free to contact us if you have questions. Vision 2050, basically, when we started developing it, we wanted to focus on how this region compares to its peer regions across the country and what we could do to be more economically competitive in the future. So we've got kind of our sales pitch in the start here. Why implement Vision 2050? It increases the region's competitiveness by providing high quality roads, transit, and bicycle facilities. It links people to jobs, particularly our under and unemployed communities in the region, using public transit. It makes public transit an attractive travel option. And when we compared our region to our peer regions across the country, that is something that we really found, and I think you've heard today, that we're behind on by quite a bit. We don't have the type of transit system that gives people the options they're looking for. And it reduces transportation expenses for residents and costs of local government infrastructure, and also this plan would reduce congestion compared to what we have today slightly, even with more traffic that we are expecting in the future. I'm only going to touch on this slide briefly just to let you know that we had 82 public workshops during the 3 years it took to develop this plan, so quite a bit of public involvement, and many parts of the region that got involved and told us what they wanted the future of the region to look like. Vision 2050 has a land use component and a transportation component. I'm just going to touch on a couple of the components today under transportation. So key recommendations around public transit. Basically, make it much more robust and travel time competitive than what we have today. So Milwaukee County has started down this path with the east-west bus rapid transit corridor. We need more of that in many more places across the region. We also need more frequent transit, and we need better service to suburban job centers and business parks, as many people have told us today. That can be local buses, but it can also be all sorts of flexible services, similar to what Pete talked about during his presentation. There are many options beyond just a local bus to provide that service. The plan also has a number of recommendations around travel demand management that you can look at in more detail if you'd like, but frankly, Pete did a better job of that than I'm ever going to be able to. So all of the things he talked about regarding gamification and providing incentives to employees to improve outcomes for mobility are really important. And the plan also has a number of recommendations around arterial streets and highways and making investments there to basically collectively across all the transit modes, transportation modes, ensure that our region continues to maintain our low travel times and is competitive in travel times across the region. Essentially, the results of this plan, when we did our research and developed and compared this plan compared to our current path, if we follow our current path between now and 2050, about 3 times more residents would be within 30 minutes of 10,000 or more jobs via transit under Vision 2050 than with the trend. About 7% fewer miles of the street and highway network would be congested during rush hour. About $144 million less would be spent by the region's residents each year on transportation costs due to replacing private automobile trips with other options. And as Larry just described, providing a more compact development pattern saves you quite a bit of money on infrastructure as well. So this is an incredibly brief summary. But the point I'm trying to make is that we do have a plan, and what we're missing is a strategy to get that plan implemented. We've recommended things like this for a number of years. We were founded in 1960, and this has been a relatively consistent set of recommendations. Obviously, things have been updated as technology and preferences have changed, but we haven't made a lot of progress on the public transit or other multimodal aspects of the plan. And so what we're missing is how do we get from this plan, from where we are today, to this plan by 2050.